St. John's College at Cambridge before attending London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Next summer, he will play Tyler Wilson in TNT's medical drama Monday Mornings, J.D. Bamber. Go ahead and start queuing up. Please, no personal questions and no multi-part questions. And Jamie, you get the first question.
Okay. Hope it's not personal or multi-part.
Lee Adama made a major career shift during Battlestar Galactica. Which occupation did you enjoy playing more? Fighter pilot or politician?
Or lawyer.
You weren't a real lawyer.
Yeah,
like a paralegal.
No, I was basically.
Don't argue with the moderator.
Moderation's not in my vocabulary, as you well know. Well, the actual bit I enjoyed the most was the paralegal thing, because it just came so much from, I don't know, you know, when you're in an ensemble cast, you have so much that's unsaid, and I spewed it all in a 5-minute scene which they didn't cut, which was really weird. So I have to say that bit, and also defending the character that I had least time for, was awesome. It was you know, an incredible thing that happens, and James is one of my closest friends and everything. But in terms of like his character, I couldn't stomach the character at all. So it was just extraordinary to do that, and to be sat next to him with his long hair and his like self-justification. But if I'm honest, for me the show is Vipers, is shooting, and the bit I enjoyed the most is the bit that got me the most respect, which is sweating my ass off in a little tiny closed Viper on stilts while all the crew are running around drinking Coke. And that's the bit that I will always remember the most fondly, is the Viper pilot bit. That's Battlestar. And I watched Richard Hatch with his 3 buttons back in the day. And so the bit that got me excited was you know, trying to be you. Because I watched that as a kid, and you know, that was insanely exciting. It's not very often that you get to, you know, be Luke Skywalker, and I did, and it was great.
Thank you.
This side.
Another question for Jamie. You said that Eddie was particularly intimidating. Who was non-intimidating? Sort of warm on the set.
Quick answer is Eddie. He was both. You know, he was intimidating first, and then very, you know, Eddie is a confidence boost to anybody who knows him. He's an enabler. He tells you that you are worthy, that you are good, and all the rest of it. And you know, he was playing a role as the intimidating man, because he's not intimidating in the least. Actually, as himself, he's a big goofball who's a family man who enables everyone around him to feel the best that they can be, and he's my inspiration as an actor, and hopefully one day as more than an actor. He is the guy that tells you that you can. He's like my Barack Obama. But the long answer is everyone else that you see here. You know, these are all my friends, and they're really great people, and I'm so blessed, you know, to have been in a cast where literally everyone is someone that I would want to be stranded on an island with.
That's
it.
Hi, this question's for all of you. Who have you met but not worked with that you've been starstruck by? And have there been any actors or famous people you've met that have been starstruck by you, which took you by surprise?
Yes, I remember walking through Covent Garden in London and seeing John Hurt, who is one of my all-time favourite actors in the whole world. And I was really starstruck. And I was like, shall I go up and say something? And I'm sure that he could see me, you know, because people, you're kind of semi-aware, so I could see him look at me and think, you know, I'm getting out of here before this guy comes over. But I was, and and something happened. I got terribly excited very quickly, and I couldn't find the words in my mind of what I would want to say. And so yes, I have been. That was one moment for me.
I have always had this. Well, we get crushes too, like everybody, right? And so I've watched Dexter a lot, and I watched Buffy back in the day. And now, you know, look, Daniel Day-Lewis. I could name a number of actors that would blow me away, right? If I got a chance to speak to them, spend time with them, act with them. But I had this amazing crush on Julie Benz. Okay. Wait, this is being recorded. And I swear to God, you know how you're at conventions sometimes, I'm sure you guys have seen this, there's people kind of wandering around and they're standing out there and you don't quite know if they want to talk to you, right? Yeah. And then they go away, they come back. Well, I've become that guy. And I'm trying to walk up to Julie Benz and say hello, and I can't do it. I go up, I walk back, I walk over, stand there. I swear to God, I thought, she's gonna think the stalker, you know, is after her. Anyway, I made a pact with myself. Next time I see her, I'm gonna go up and tell her how much I, you know, think she's incredible and all that good stuff. And I know she's married, right? She's married, right? All right, so anyway, that's fine. Oh, and I was amazed, seriously, that I don't know why I didn't never register, but the fact that you watched me growing up and all that stuff.
I told you that.
I know, for some reason, you know what I mean? It never quite registered, but thank you. No, it's an honor. It's an honor that you appreciated me on the show growing up.
100% true. And James too.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tringo was doing, but...
Were you talking to me?
He's older than us, by the way, so he should have been watching.
Sweet, that's what it is.
Sorry, just to throw you under the bus like that with your age.
Do what you gotta do. It's Monday, I
Yeah.
understand. I'm never gonna see
But you
you again.
shaved. We're talking about crushes. I once accosted Jim Broadbent at a premiere of a movie called The Damned United, directed by Tom Hooper, the Oscar winner now, who directed me and Daniel Deronda years ago. And he won the Oscar for The King's Speech. Anyway, well, what am I doing? Name dropping. And I literally leapt in front of Jim Broadbent. I was with Kerry, and I was like, there's Jim Broadbent. I love Jim Broadbent. I was like, I know you do. Why don't you say that to him? So I just jumped in front of him as he was walking into the loo. And said, Bullets Over Broadway, best film ever, best performance ever. You're amazing. And he went, and then kept on walking into the loo. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And Kerry and I, you know, we're very fortunate. We get to hang out at a lot of like Hollywood things, and I just can't do it. I cannot introduce myself seamlessly to someone who I admire. Cannot do it. No slight on you guys, because I seem to be able to do it with you guys.
This could be a problem.
But I just can't do it. I can't do it. So she goes, there's Jeff Bridges, we should go. I'm like, we should not. I should stay right here, and I should ignore Jeff Bridges. Until he comes over and says hello to me, which will never happen. Mark Ruffalo, same thing. Kerry's got a massive crush on Mark Ruffalo. Anyway, so I just use this. I can't do it. I digress. What else do you want to know?
I think we're talking about your wife's crushes. This is taking another turn.
Don't take offense.
None whatsoever.
She's never mentioned you.
As far as you know. I got to do a pilot with a few years ago with Tippi Hedren and Frank Langella. And I mean, right? And Joel Grey. So here, and how does that pilot not get picked up, by the way? Joel Grey, Tippi Hedren, Frank Langella. Every time, I played Tippi Hedren's grandson, and every time she talked, when we were on camera, she would finish her line, and I would just stare at her.
That's why it didn't get picked up.
And then Frank Langella would, I'm intimidated by that guy, because he's got that cool thing that he does with his eyes. And you
He like waved his eyes. I played his son.
You understand, right? I don't know if you've ever watch in 1979, Frank Langella plays Dracula. You guys seen this? And he does this crazy thing with his eyes that he can shift his eyes back and forth extraordinarily rapidly. And he can, I think he does it on command, or maybe it's involuntary. I'm not sure which, but you never want to stare in his eyes long enough to find out. You don't want to do it, because I know it's difficult. How did you act with it? Because you want to connect with the other actor when you're working with him, but I found myself looking at his chin, staring at his shoulder, because I was truly intimidated.
He was, when I played his son in Jason and the Argonauts, I think, and he was very funny. And right before every take, he'd be, some people really get into it, the stuff. Some people, they literally turn it on and off like a tap. And he was one of these people who has that facility. So he'd be telling some joke or other, he'd be halfway through, so like, I don't even, actually, suddenly, he'd just go. But I was always laughing. They always had to do it twice. He could immediately snap into it. I needed a few more seconds. I was always thinking about his last comment.
That's good. So don't make a pilot with either James or I. We just can't hold our own, apparently.
This side.